Hola, bienvenidos. Welcome to our open house tonight. I'm really sorry that we can't all be here in person. If you're not already receiving Google Classroom summaries, go ahead and send me an email with your student's name and their period number, and I'll make sure to get you an invitation sent to you. I'm Patricia Latanen, and I teach Spanish 1 and Spanish 2 here at Bainbridge High School. I'm your student Spanish 2 teacher this year. I have 2 children. They're both Bainbridge High School grads. My son is now a senior at University of Washington, and my daughter is a freshman this year at Western Washington University. And they both have 100% online classes this year. My mother's from Argentina, so all of my extended family still lives in Argentina. And when I was in high school, I graduated from high school a semester early so I could go and spend a bonus high school year in Argentina. I lived with my cousins and I went to the same high school my mother attended. It was a really wonderful experience. And when I came back from Argentina, I enrolled at University of Washington and I got my bachelor's degree in Spanish language and literature. After I graduated, my husband and I went to Japan to teach for 2 years. And then we returned and I went back to University of Washington to get my master's degree in teaching. This is my 5th year at Bainbridge High School. And before Bainbridge High School, I taught at Madrona School for 5 years. Your student needs to take 2 consecutive years of the same language to fulfill their graduation requirement. And that also satisfies most college entrance requirements. Make sure you check on the college because some colleges actually require 3 or recommend 4 years. So just make sure you check. Your student needs to receive a grade of at least 60% or better each semester so that they can go on to the next semester, the next level. It's recommended that your student has at least a C, 70% or better to go on to Spanish 3. But at least 60% will give that student consideration for Spanish 3. 90% of your students' grade is based on their proficiency. How well do they listen and understand? How well do they speak? How well do they read and write? And we assess this in 3 different ways. The first is interpretive. How well do they interpret and understand what they're reading in print media or listening to in a video? The second is interpersonal. How well do they communicate with other people? And then the third is presentational communication. How well are they able to present themselves in Spanish to an audience? The other 10% of their grade is based on daily work, classwork, some homework, skill building work mostly. I tell the students every day what their homework is, and I assign it on Google Classroom. We use this textbook. It's called Entre Culturas 2. It's completely online. Their textbook is online, as well as most of the homework that I assign is online on their learning site platform. I try not to assign more than 30 minutes of homework a day. So if your student is spending more than that, and that's 5 or 6 days per week, if they're spending more than that, then please send me an email and let me know because something else must be going on. That should also include about 10 minutes a day of vocabulary practice on Quizlet. In addition to that, I would love to have them be as immersed as possible in the Spanish language. I ask that they listen to about 10 minutes a day of their favorite TV show or their movie in Spanish. Turn on the Spanish track and just let it wash over them so they can hear it. I also strongly recommend that they use the free app called Duolingo. It's an excellent app. On Google Classroom, I have it divided into week at a glance, classroom resources, class resources, and then weekly work. So right now we're in Semana 7, week 7, and I have a weekly slide deck with all of our work and homework there. I also have individual homework assignments attached to their week. On their Google Classroom, they can look at their calendar to know what the due dates are. And they can also look at a to-do list to see what they still need to do and turn it in on Google Classroom. And they can also separate that by class. The week at a glance is a summary of what we're doing and what our homework is on a weekly basis and is the same information as what I post on my website, my school website. Thank you for supporting your student in logging into Zoom every day. I do take attendance 3 days a week. And even though Friday's asynchronous, I give them a short task to do on Fridays and that they need to do by 3 p.m. so that I can count that for their attendance. Please encourage them to check Google Classroom every day, as well as to do their homework on the Learning site and to email me with clarifying questions. The sooner the better. I don't want your student to be feeling lost 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks without asking me for help. They can ask for a Zoom appointment on Fridays, or they can choose one of my appointment slots for before school or after school, Monday through Thursday. And if they can explain to you what they're learning in Spanish, then that proves that they have got a pretty solid grasp of what they're learning in class. I'm most reachable by email, but I am also available for conferences, Zoom conferences with you and your student if you would like. If your student is struggling, by the end of the semester, I will go ahead and send a progress report home so that they have time to get caught up, probably a month or two before the end of the semester. Please let me know if you have any questions. It really is a pleasure to work with your students, and I hope to see all of them in person before too long. Gracias. Adios.